I have this like fear.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever told you this.
No, go ahead.
This is like my therapist makes fun of me. I call it the Boots Jew.
Mm-hmm.
The Boots Jew. Here's my biggest fear. You ever go to like a strip club and message to Katie? This is probably not something Mike has done in
Message to Katie, I've never been to a strip club.
Message
go
to
ahead.
Katie. But imagine if you did.
Right.
Imagine if you went on a Wednesday.
Yes.
And you go with like your friends because it's just a goof.
Right.
You go as a goof. There's
Right.
girls in the. It's like you, me, Shannon, Alex. A bunch of us go. Let's go to a strip club, and we go as a goof.
Yeah.
But then there's the guy who's there all the time.
Right.
And it's usually some like old balding Jewish doctor guy with the little blotches on his skin, and I notice it. And to try to hip it up, they wear like cowboy boots.
Right.
Right.
Draws focus.
I don't know what it is. I think it's their way of being like, hey, I'm still sexy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Tucked in shirt and like cowboy boots.
Mm-hmm.
And my fear to my therapist, if I don't get my shit together, I don't get married. I'm like, I have this vision in my head. I call it the Boots Jew. I'm not, this is dead serious. I'm like, I'm going to become that Jew in the boots. So this is my fear of aging.
That's your fear?
Dude, my fear of aging.
Sexy,
No.
beautiful Justin has this fear?
That I'm going to go. This is why my hair obsession is like this. It's like I have to keep as much hair as possible, which when we get to my hair, I think we're doing fantastic. But when I get there, I'm afraid I'm going to be this balding Jew with a tucked in shirt and some sort of like slacks on, going to a strip club on a Wednesday with cowboy boots on. And this is like my life fear. It's like if people fear they're going to be dying alone. Right. That's my version of it. It's like the Boots Jew.
It's important, your fear. Our fans appreciate you talking about your fears. But it's interesting that we go in as a goof right now. Right. We're not doing it like your fear, like a Boots Jew. We go in as a goof. And if you get a full erection, it's also a goof. It's like I'm fully engorged, and that's a goof,
right? And let's say, like,
and women don't understand that it's goofy.
And let's say, like, you go to your brothers, right, because one of them had a baby, right? But then, like, when they're like not done hugging the baby, they're like, I don't ever know why I got married. So then you're like, yo, this place Diamond Dolls, and in the back of it, you're allowed to have like sex with the women. You're like, as a goof, I'm going to give you $200, so you do it, and then you go ahead and you have sex with the girl and stuff. And you come out that it's funny.
As a goof.
It's funny when you do that.
It's really funny,
right?
As a goof,
it's a goof.
It's a goof,
right?
So I just think that's great. But how's your hair, Justin?
Mike, I got to be honest with you. Let me tell you something. I think...
Did you put product in it today?
I did put product in it. But let me say this, okay?
Yeah.
I obsess about what my hair has looked like on these cameras. And Shannon knows, all right? I'll sit here before this pod... When we used to do the podcast together, would start. And it's a good 15 minutes of hair prep.
Right.
I didn't even do that. If you... Message to the listeners. If you follow my simple program... Okay? Mm-hmm. Not only will you grow more hair, but the individual hairs will grab density, and you will have what is called full density if you follow my program.
Can you swim with it?
What?
I'm sorry. I was doing trying to help with an infomercial that you were doing. But your hair looks gorgeous.
Thank you.
And it's really great. And I think you're trying to offset the sexiness with your glasses.
No, I can't.
No, you're not?
No. See, going back to me falling apart as an old man, I can't see out of my right eye right now.
That's why when you came in, I said, it's Michael.
Right.
It's your old friend, Michael.
Tell it to Shannon. Shannon, do you know what happened to me?
I don't know.
This didn't spread like wildfire through Gas Digital?
No.
Oh, I guess everybody's worried about everybody else with COVID.
Well, no. Yeah, COVID seems to be controlling the narrative
I don't care
right now,
fucking
Justin.
Ralph's in there. I'm going to say what I want to say.
What about the
Free
narrative?
Speech.
COVID is controlling it, and we haven't heard about your eye difficulty.
Can I say something?
Sure.
As a Jew, this fucking virus knows how to persevere. All right?
Why? Because
new strain now. This thing's going to own a bank in a few years.
I feel like it's social media. It's really like just if it doesn't work on Instagram, it'll go to TikTok.
Right.
If it doesn't work, it'll tweet more. It's like, you're right. The variant is very, very networky. It just gets in there.
You ready for some vocab, Mike?
Sure.
It's ubiquitous, like the kudzu in South Carolina.
It's ubiquitous?
Sure.
Shannon, can we put that up? Our fans are befuddled right now. Our fans...
Ubiquitous and kudzu. You're going to look up both of those. This is a wild plant that grows in the South. This is a wild plant that grows in the South. Can't be his ubiquitous influence. Well, that's using it.
Ubiquitous is
present,
found everywhere.
Appearing, found everywhere. Yes.
It's omnipotent. Ubiquitous is the same as omnipotent.
Omnipotent is more on a grander scale.
Right.
Like sure. Ubiquitous is more like air is ubiquitous.
Right.
Omnipotent would be like the Holy Spirit.
Right.
It's got a little more
which
sparkle
you guys
in it.
actually don't believe in, but we do. And
there it is.
Ubiquitous.
The ubiquitous kudzu. There it is. It grows everywhere in the South. They can't get rid of it.
Semi-woody, which is what you are at a strip club. As a goof, though. It's not serious.
It's a joke. I told my sister-in-law it was a joke.
People get upset about that, but it's a joke.
My eye, Mike.
Okay, what happened with the eye?
Well,
maybe you got some gel or something because you were doing your hair, and it's just a guess.
Message to the listeners, I use an all-organic, plant-based hair blend, which is also tear-free. So if that was a concern, come back to me.
Vegan hair process?
Vegan, yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt animals, and that makes Shannon ovulate, I think. Because she's a vegan. Do vegans ovulate when people use non-abrasive hair care products, Shannon? Non-environmentally dangerous?
It's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still ovulate, but I'm sure somebody does.
Somebody is ovulating right now.
Well, eggs are not vegan. They're vegetarian.
That's right. Eggs are not vegan.
They're vegetarian.
That's a great point, Justin.
So even though you are vegan, you really aren't vegan. Do you know what I'm saying? You are not
because
vegan.
You have eggs.
Your flesh.
What are you doing with
your
eggs?
Flesh and blood and egg.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to, like a cow is beef.
Yeah.
But a cow doesn't eat other animals, so a cow is vegan.
Right. I see what you're saying. We're talking about vegan as a verb, as an adjective, not vegan as a noun.
Right.
Oh, yeah, like you're veganing your way into this conversation?
Right.
Okay. No, we're getting to a point. Okay, this isn't just about jokes for you at home. We all have a point we're trying to make also.
My retina has a hole in it, Mike.
You have a hole in your retina?
Mike, I'm going to say it again. I have a hole in my retina.
What's the solution to that?
You ready for this? This is the Jewy.
If you say putty, I'm going to shit my pants.
I'm not going to.
Right on this podcast.
I'm not going to because I know you
That's
know
the
an uncle who knows a guy.
Deal with it.
No, I got a cortisone shot, which I'm not a steroids guy. This is all natural. It's always been all natural, and I've always preached that to the listeners. This is all I got a cortisone shot because my elbow got fucked up from doing
those pull-ups that you do, those jump-up pull-ups.
Exactly.
What are they called? Jumped-ups?
Muscle-ups.
Muscle-ups.
So I fucked my elbow up.
Right.
All right? So you know what? There's a price for being,
superhuman.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Right.
So as a result, I got a cortisone shot, and 0.1% of people, and this happens with type A personalities. Right. So it's a stress-related thing. So I'm learning to relax now. Okay. 0.1% of people have this reaction to cortisone where their retina, it bleeds a hole into your retina, so water's pouring into the back of my eye. So if I close this eye, you look like a fun mirror right now. So it's been fucking weeks of this shit, and now I got to wear the glasses to even it out, and also because I think it attracts a different type of woman. But it's been a problem. That's what's happened. Very Jewy thing to happen.
Because of the cortisone shot, you have water. You have a waterfall behind your eye.
That's exactly.
And as a result, everybody looks like they're in a fun mirror.
That's exactly.
That's crazy. What a crazy turn of events, Justin. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah,
to talk about this.
I'm here to talk about this because my therapist just mysteriously has gone away. So I don't have anyone to talk to.
You don't have anybody to talk to now.
Not the way.
I'm glad you could come on this podcast.
Not anybody
really
who knows
up.
me like you and Shannon.
Well, our fans also appreciate, because our fans missed you.
I miss them.
I get comments every...
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Like, they're supportive. They're like, we love you, but like, also just decide, we miss Justin. But the podcast is still great, but we miss Justin.
Here's what it is. I feel like this. You were always the ground. You're the earth, Mike. Shannon's the water.
Right.
And I'm the fire. And
Earth,
together,
wind, and fire.
There wasn't wind in that, but
okay.
Earth, water, fire.
Okay, earth, water, and fire.
I feel like
that's a different.
Shannon's,
that isn't a copyright infringement, which is better.
100%. And we kept it under 15 seconds. The point being, you're the grounded one, right?
Right.
Bring nonstop funny, quippy, punch, 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 punch. Shannon, the fluidity that just sort of keeps everything like moving forward like a river. And then you had the lunatic.
Yes.
And some people need to identify with the lunatic.
And you came in, you really... I think maybe that's what the podcast was missing. That's spicy meatball.
I'll say this right now.
That's spicy kosher meatball.
I missed you so much, I'll come back.
You'd come back?
Yeah, I would.
Oh my
I would. I come back. I miss this.
What about the dogs, though, Justin?
Here's the thing that happened.
Who let the dogs out, right, Shannon? Thank you. Shout out to the Baja Boys. It was a great song.
It wasn't that. The Baja Boys did that?
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out? Didn't that guy like rape a bunch of kids?
No, you're making that up.
No.
You're making that up.
What was the famous? Oh, that was hey, that was the guy who was like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's a party song, but I didn't know about the raping kids.
There was that famous song that they played at NBA games. It was the most played song, and they were like, hey, and that guy was like a rapist or something. If I'm wrong
or
about
something,
this,
that's a pretty that's a pretty hard allegation to ballpark.
Sounds like fine.
So there's more things that are coming up. Then I Googled NBA game song singer sexual assault, and there's more than one answer.
Yeah, I'm sure if you put the NBA in sexual assault, there's going to be more than one thing that comes up.
Zeke Thomas dealing with it.
Dealing with it?
Can we play a second of it?
Hold on.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I never heard that.
Marv Albert.
Did he molest the kids, or did they call it dunking on them?
I mean, this is Mike Vecchione investigates.
It's Mike Vecchione. We have to get to the bottom.
We'll get to the bottom of this in no time.
But I mean, there's a multiple investigations happening here because I want to know why your eye waters because of a cortisone shot. Because
Mike,
you're the top 0.001% of that people that happens to.
Yeah, because I'm fucking neurotic. It happens to type A personalities. So I go to the doctor and he goes, what's the cure for this? He goes, we can shoot a laser into it. Which this happened to me years ago.
That sounds kind of badass. Let me stop you there. That kind of sounds badass. They can shoot a laser into it?
They can shoot a laser in it, and it sucks the water out. But they said, but then it leaves a little bit of scar tissue, which we don't know what that's going to be like for the future. I'm like, I just turned 45 years old, by the way. So I'm like, I don't have much of a future anyway. So like, you know.
What's with the pessimism? Yes, you do, Justin. You have a huge future.
I'm so glad I came in.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
But shooting a laser into your eye would be great if it could evaporate the water.
That's what they do.
You could shoot lasers out of your eye. Did you ask about that, if that's possible? One eye that shoots lasers and one eye that just sees regular?
Right, like the bad guys from Superman.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They need machines to fly.
You might be a guy who shoots lasers out of your eyes. That's what I took from what you just said.
You know what?
And it's very possible because it always is a bad thing that happens, and then turning that adversity upside down, being the alchemist, you could then shoot lasers out of your eyes, and it'll all start from a what would seem like a terrible tragedy. You flipped into a superpower. I think you could do it.
I'm gonna wait and see if there's another option before they shoot the laser in my eye. But I'll ask them.
Well, you can already communicate with animals,
right?
Which is something that nobody else can do.
Other people
So
can.
if you can communicate with animals and listen to animals, and you can also shoot a laser out of your eye.
Yes.
I mean, you're basically a superhero.